my goodness.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We have Susan Lynn in the house today. How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you.
Thank you. I feel like an Easter egg. I've got all this color on. I was trying to find my clear glasses and I couldn't find them. And I'm like, I told Kevin, I said, y'all, I'm just going to be color today.
They
It
embrace
is
it.
what it is. But I
It's
really
a,
do feel like an Easter
I
egg.
think you look great, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. You too. You really look
Thank
great,
you.
man. You look amazing. How's everybody? I
Yes,
hope
how's
everybody's
everybody
doing all
doing?
right.
It's
Yes, we are doing current events.
so you just
Thanksgiving
got back.
travel.
You're settling in from your amazing event. All of this powerful shifting last week that happened, and I can just imagine um, the event was amazing. How
It
are
was
you doing
amazing.
after all of that? Are
It
you
was
feeling okay,
amazing.
or is it just trying to get recalibrated?
Yeah, I mean,
A lot.
it's trying to get recalibrated, right? I was telling Kevin before we went live, I was kind of offline for a few days, and that was really nice. And then I particularly love Santa Fe, New Mexico, so I
Mm,
was in a place that I really, really love. So it was just like a little vacation for me. And then
yeah,
being surrounded by people who are love and light, and just it was the best. It was the best.
it was a powerful event.
It it was
I'm
pretty
feeling.
amazing. Yeah,
I'm
it was
sure.
pretty amazing. So, but Kevin, and I know you like your ghost, right? I booked this hotel. I
Uh-huh.
didn't pay any attention. Santa Fe comes with ghosts, right? But this hotel was a sanatorium, and
Oh,
then it turned it into a hotel, and it was wild. We did have some ghost activity.
that's fun.
I thought a ghost was trying to get in my room every single night. I could hear click, 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 and it sounded like my door was opening. I'm like in the middle of the night. I'm like this. I'm barricading the door. I don't know if it's a human. I don't know if it's a ghost. And then one time when I was barricading the door, swear to God, I'm like, oh, it's coming from behind me. And I was like, it's coming from behind me. So I turn around and it was the darn refrigerator. I don't know what kind of darn noises it was making, but it sounded just like a door opening and closing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have to unplug this thing. There's nothing I need to keep cold enough to hear this all night. So thank God it was the refrigerator and not the whatever it was, ghost trying to get in
Right?
my room.
You're not
Like,
getting
I'll
your
have to
ankles
call
dragged
Kevin,
out
my
of bed.
Ghostbuster friend.
Not getting dragged out of bed by your
No,
ankles.
no,
Susan,
no,
don't
we
play with
do
no
not
ghosts.
do that. People did see ghosts.
I
People
believe
in
it.
my group, they did see ghost. I did not, but I think, I came to the conclusion that if you're going to bother me, I'm going to bother you. And so I think they decided they just pass my room right on by and go pick on somebody else.
The thing with that though is, if you're in a place of fear, I mean, you
Yeah, that's
can
right.
track that too. So just having those firm boundaries is
Yeah,
so
well, I thought
important.
I had firm boundaries until the refrigerator attacked me. I thought I was all that in a can of, ghost spray until
Oh,
the
funny.
refrigerator got me.
Oh,
No, it
funny.
wasn't Trump in a diaper. It was I got think no, no, no. Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. But it was interesting. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
good to see you guys. Thanks for showing up tonight with us. Really appreciate it.
mm. So Susan has been busy with her finishing up her event and getting home and trying to get settled. I just had finished up two of my Reiki classes over the weekend, and I'm teaching my first master class Thanksgiving weekend. So I'm not sure how much politics or news we've been watching, but if you're new, Susan and I often just play psychic ping pong and go off of each other's energy and kind of get into this wavelength. So, which is always fun. We try to take questions from the chat, but usually we don't get to too many. But we cover a lot of the current stuff.
Mhm, mhm.
So anyway,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Susan. It's always a delight to have you. If you can all do me a favor, and if you watch Susan's videos, do her a favor. Please make sure that you hit that thumbs up. I don't know about Susan, but for myself, my algorithms have been way off. And so hitting the thumbs up really helps with getting these videos out there to as many people as possible. And also leave a comment, a positive comment after the video is posted. and that also helps with the algorithm. Um, Also, make sure that you're subscribed if you're interested in getting videos and keeping up to date with our channels. Because I've been losing a lot of my subscribers have been saying that they've been unsubscribed on their own or multiple times. So just doing those things help us out tremendously, and we appreciate that. Do you have anything coming up? I know that you just had a big event, but anything that you want to share before we get started?
No, I mean, I am just thrilled,
Mm,
frankly. I mean, to be on the other side of my event, for it to have been success, I'm gonna coast through the rest of the year and start again next year. So I don't really have anything big planned.
okay.
I have an online membership. People are always welcome to join.
Yes.
And who knows, I might throw something together before the end of the year. But your master class, is that a Holy Fire, or what is that?
Yes. So I have my first Holy Fire Master Level class that I'm teaching, which I'm
Exciting.
really excited about. I have 2 spots left open. It is like just a little over a week away. If anybody's interested, you can still sign up. There's ways that I can get you the class material up to like the day of. I will say you have to be a level 2 Reiki practitioner for at least 6 months. And if you didn't take the class with me, I do need a copy of your certificate. Have your level 2 symbols memorized. And I always just recommend that you have a good amount of practice and dedication to doing self Reiki, um, working with others, and sending Reiki at a distance. So you want to be comfortable with that before taking on that next level of your Reiki training. If you're new to Reiki, I do have 2 classes going on in January of 2026. It's a total beginner friendly class,
Nice.
and you do learn. We focus in on self Reiki and treating others. You also learn the symbols, and the energy that just comes through is just so life changing and transformational. Um, I think often people think of Reiki and they just think of it as energy healing, and it is. It can be absolutely transformational with that, but it's also a spiritual practice that you could use for just about anything in your life if you're looking to raise your frequency. So, and even working on manifesting and just sending out that positive energy. So, if you're interested, both classes are on my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. I do also offer readings, Reiki sessions, and a combination of both, and I have some availability for December. So if you're looking for something before the end of the year, go to the website and check it out. All right. So where do we want
Absolutely.
to get started? I'm sorry,
Well,
Sue.
mm,
We'll be reading on world events today. We can go into politics, even though I said yesterday I am shifting things a little bit. Not to say I'm not reading on politics, um, but it's not going to be my primary
it,
focus. I'm
you
really
just need a
looking
break
forward.
on occasion, you guys. We this has been our profession for years, right? When I got just a few days in Santa Fe, the weather was amazing, by the way. It was so nice to get away, and Kevin hasn't had a break, so sometimes we just need to take some breaks.
Not even just that. I just think that with the politics, often it's just so much fear that's just over consuming, and I think let's balance it out for those tools of empowerment and growth. I think that that's so important to manage during these times too. And it's very draining just focusing on politics 24/7 as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. But we can talk a little bit about it tonight
yeah,
if you're up for
absolutely.
it.
We
Um,
always I always enjoy reading with you, Susan. So let's get into
yes,
it.
absolutely. There's a couple of questions. You start some, and then I see some here that are
Yeah.
kind of interesting. Do you want to start? You want me to start?
Yeah.
How would you like to go?
However you want to do it. If you have something up there that you want to read on, let me know. I can pull it up on the chat.
Okay. JC says Trump is selling powerful fighter jets to the Saudis. Are we arming the world? Will the sales go through? So the two questions that I want to concentrate out of that is, will the sales go through? Because I think there's some energy around that, a lot of energy around that. And then
Yeah.
secondly, I kind of feel like this is kind of like the kind of the problem, right? Like, this is an indication of the whole problem,
Yeah.
is that everything is for this guy is money. and he's the
Transact.
emollients, he's breaking every law he can. This puts our technology in the hands of people that shouldn't have it, that could then sell it to China or North Korea or even Russia or anybody, because they're getting these planes, they're going to reverse engineer them, and they're going to figure out what we have. So another question, a better question might be even, how does the military feel about this? How do the generals feel about this? Are they supporting Trump in this way? Do they think this is a good idea, or are they concerned about it, right?
Yeah. I'll say I do feel the sale's going to go through, unfortunately.
Do you? Okay.
Um,
When
and
you say sale, also delivery, money and delivery?
I do feel like that there
Okay.
is, yeah.
Okay.
But as you said too, and I've always felt like a big corruption thing coming out for Trump. No shocker there, but it's because he's transactional. What are you going to do
Yeah,
for me? And
exactly.
how can I help you? So it's not benefiting us.
No.
It's actually to our detriment and to the world's
Yes.
detriment, but
Yes.
it's so self-serving for him.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
but how does the military feel about it? It's so current.
Or
They're
the
not happy. A lot
intelligence,
of them are not very happy.
Yeah, I don't think they're happy. And I just gotta wonder if also, second follow-up question, is it even possible that they could sabotage this, that they could take out some sensitive instrumentation or switch out some sensitive high level instrumentation that nobody would even know, right? Like I just
Mm,
wonder if the military is operating. Oh, I already know that. The guides just told me. Okay, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. What are
Well,
you
I
getting?
forgot. I just saw this video. This woman, this is how spirit works, right? This woman did this video. So apparently, I mean, I have brothers in the military, but we don't talk military. So apparently, the way the Marines are trained around the president is to salute in formation. They have to salute at exactly the same time. Like they go through training and training and training and training. Everything is exactly in alignment. So there's this video just a few days ago, and one of the Marines salutes and lowers their hand, and the Marine holds it and then lowers their hand. And everybody's saying, this is the Marines, the actual enlisted Marines,
Mm,
saying, you know, screw you. This
yeah.
is behind the president, quote unquote, the
Well,
man.
we all saw the a meeting when they brought everybody to Virginia, right? I do get that they are working against it. So, like I said, I definitely feel like some kind of agreement. Maybe the actual delivery of the planes doesn't go through.
Yeah, there's
Um,
something.
there is something there, but I
Yeah,
almost get, yeah, they're pissed off. Their emotions are overflowing with Ace of Cups. They're actually thinking like they're reviewing their options to bring some positive change here, to bring some endings here. So it's
yeah,
not like they're just going along with it and
yeah.
all fine. They're coming up behind the scenes with plans to try to remedy the situation. Is what I'm getting.
Right, exactly. So
Mhm.
there's a question about Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, have you read on this recently? Do you see him becoming Speaker of the House anytime soon?
Let's take a look. I've read on him and Schumer. I do.
Mm,
I. It's been a little while, but I did feel like Schumer. He's not going to be the leader for much longer. Hakeem Jeffries, I do feel like he's in there a little bit longer.
yeah, yeah, he does. He feels more stable,
Mhm.
although it's rocky, but he's kind
Yeah,
of holding on. He's kind of like riding that bronking bull.
for sure. Yeah, and I do see him as Speaker of the House. Like I said, for how long? I don't know because I do feel like there will be some change in the House side as well.
Hmm.
Um, the thing is sure we talk about the Republicans all the time, and we're already starting to see the implosion there, right? With what happened with the House vote,
And
and
we
we've
predicted
been
that last
saying
year,
we're going
Kevin.
to
You
start
and I
turning on
both.
them.
We predicted
So
that last year. Yeah,
absolutely,
it's gonna
but I
split.
see a lot of changes within the Democratic Party too,
I do
and really
too.
trying to get this big money. Um, get rid of some of these corporate Democrats, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but I get yes, but it may be all the big money around him that may be his downfall, because I do feel like there's some disappointment there as well.
Or yeah, right. The money kind of keeps him from rising to meet the moment. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I feel like that these, who Jasmine Crockett, whoever they are, AOC, they're Maxwell Frost, I feel like they're just like blazing, like they are catching fire.
Mm,
And, Jeffries has always just been a kind of, let's just keep the status quo, let's keep everything under control. And, Jasmine Crockett and AOC have been known to be kind of trailblazers.
for
So I think
sure.
that he may not be able to rise to that moment that is going to be happening in the Democratic Party.
Mhm. He's
And then
going to
he's going to
try.
look like he's kind of out of step or something.
He's going to try to get that fiery messaging, but I do
Oh,
feel,
good.
well, tries the word. How effective is he? Is another, right?
At
So,
this point, trying is something. Trying is something,
right.
like,
Well, you're starting to see him get a little bit more fiery, although, again, it's very measured. Yeah.
well, that's his personality. So I mean, it's this is what it is, what it is.
Until we get money out of politics,
Yeah.
then we're not going to get the massive reforms that we're looking for. There might be some change, but to get all the corruption, which is on both sides,
Mhm.
you really got to get money out of politics.
Mhm. I agree.
So
Well,
do
let's read on that. Let's read on that.
sure.
Are we going to get it? I mean, let's not go all the way to Citizens United, but let's just say, are we going to have some measures to control or limit money in politics? Maybe in 26?
I think it's a little bit longer,
Do
but
you
I do
think it's
feel
Citizens
change.
United, or you think it's something abridged, something shorter?
I feel like it's something shorter
Mm.
to kind of put some guardrails in, but I do feel them getting stricter with overturning that as or maybe reinstating. With Citizens United, did they not allow any corporations or big money into politics?
Well, they said corporations are people, therefore they can donate unfettered.
Okay, I do
Um,
see that changing.
okay.
Hmm. But I almost feel like for that, it feels like it's more in the 2030s, like 2032 is what came to mind. But something in
Ooh,
the meantime that
okay. But something in
maybe
the meantime, we're going to have to start wrestling with this because
mhm,
we just
maybe
can't.
a cap,
Yeah,
maybe a
there
cap
may be
at
some other stopgap
contribution
measures.
money. Hmm. Yeah, but I do feel like that changing. Like I said, not too far off in the future, but still a little bit away. All right.
Okay.
So,
Do you
what's
want to?
your take on? I got so many questions here about the Epstein stuff going on. What are you picking up with that? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Trump decided, he decided to flip at the last minute because he knew he didn't have the votes. But we also know that he's got some kind of plan there,
Yeah.
um, where it's going to be delay, and we know that his DOJ is scrubbing and getting rid of stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's what my guide said. Run the clock out. But the other thing they said, and I think we're already seeing this. I think I've already seen evidence of this actually.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing they said was that he would tilt the evidence or reveal evidence towards people that would be shocking,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of create a smokescreen for them to kind of hide behind. So like, I don't know why people have talked about Deepak Chopra being on the files.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is or not. I'm just saying this is what people have talked about. And I feel like there's going to be celebrities. I think there's going to be shock, and I think that's what they're hoping for. It's like a deflection, a
Mm-hmm.
diversion, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they're hoping, if they feed the public sacrificial lambs, that they feed the public a celebrity and a Democrat and a this and a that, they'll all be sated. They'll be
Mm.
like, okay, we got it. We can move on now. I don't think that's going to work, but I think that's what they're thinking.
So it's like you let a little bit out of the can and like
Yeah.
everything explodes out of it. It's kind of
Yeah.
how it is. You can't
Yeah.
put it back in the can
You
after it's
can't
been
go
out.
back again.
Yeah.
No. No. But
I
I think
get
the victims are going to continue being the main energy that's going to push this forward.
yeah, I mean, I've always said I've been saying this since spring when we've started even like really talking about it a whole lot. Um, but I've always felt it the big stuff coming out from overseas rather than
And you
Congress.
know what? They're talking about that. I know you've always said that. So today, I saw multiple sources say that the same, I don't know if this is true. This is what sources are
Mhm.
saying, that the same um, information, the files have been replicated and various overseas states have them.
Mm.
So that
I'm getting
dovetails what you've
goosebumps
been
with
saying
that.
all along, that they,
Mhm.
somebody could release them, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, a
Well,
lot
when you
easier for
said
them to
that,
release them.
Susan, I had the spirit bumps, the goosebumps, which is
Did
always
you? Well,
validating.
that's what you've been. I mean, I kind of
Mhm.
picked that up once or twice, but you've really been saying it, and I think that I feel like Obama. I did a video I'm going to drop later tonight, and what
Yeah.
I got was Obama is behind the scenes because he's such a scholar. He's such a legal scholar, a constitutional scholar. And we need that right now, right? Because we need to understand what they've done to our Constitution and what parts of the Constitution are still strong enough to use. And what I see is Obama in the background with various people,
Mhm.
and he's creating a plan. It's like a Marshall Plan. Y'all are gonna have to remind me what that means. I know it means something. It's like a plan after a war, or it has a meaning.
Mhm.
Anyway, he's creating this plan, and what you're saying, why you got spirit bumps, is because this is all going to come together, right? Like the Epstein files from this other country are going to break it open, and then Obama's going to hand over the plan to somebody who can who's like a playbook, right? It's like
Mhm.
2025, but it's like a for justice, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to have it done so that when the right people are in power, and they, not necessarily in presidency, but in the courts and whatnot, the plan is ready. All it has to be is plugged in.
Yeah. Well, we were picking up this summer, if I'm remembering, I believe I was reading with you, a lot of the Democrats working behind the scenes, and even more than just the Democrats, a lot of other leaders kind of coming up with this strategy. Um, I almost wonder if that's why, you know, um, Republicans fold because they know that it's going to come out regardless.
Yes.
And was it Prince Andrew getting his titles taken away? Like it's
That's a
not like
big
it's a
deal.
secret. It's just private right now. Um, but yeah, I mean, I keep the energy that I keep seeing, and it feels literal and symbolic, but I keep seeing it is this train that just keeps building momentum and it's getting faster and faster and faster. And then it gets to the point where it's out of control. You can't stop it
Yes.
um,
Yes.
until
Yeah.
you know you have that implosion, and that's where we're at with the energy right now. It's just going to continue to build and build until it's over.
Yeah. Until it explodes. And it could have been
Exactly.
done a different way. It could have been done in a more controlled manner, but
Hmm.
it's not. It's not going to happen like that because that's not the choices we're making. We're not,
Yep.
not you and I, but society's not really catching on. So
Yep.
it's going to be much more of an explosion, much more of a
And
big
it's
bang.
and even when that happens, it's not going to be the next day. It's not going to be amazing.
No, no, it's not.
It's gonna take quite a while. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
huge adjustment of like where do we go from here.
Hmm. Hmm.
So even I have people ask me all the time, well, what's energy look like by summer of next year or by the end of next year? It still feels pretty heavy,
Yeah.
right?
Right. But heavy in a different way. Maybe
Yeah,
heavy in a
in a rebuilding. It's a
right.
rebuilding.
But like, okay, think about it like this, you guys. When you're in the house and the tornado, the hurricane, the flood, it's all happening. You don't really know, right, what it looks like outside. You just know it's really bad.
Yeah.
Next year is we're outside cutting trees with chainsaws, trying to figure out how we're going to replace our roof. That's what next year is. So you could see it as heavy, but you could also see it as we have the benefit of rebuilding, that this is a grace that we've been given, that we are able to rebuild and
Yeah.
rebuild it the way we want it. So we've
Well,
got to keep that pressure on them.
and that's where it will be too. But it's almost like the energy that I feel like is, well, where do we start? Where do we start?
That's what I'm telling you. That's why Obama has a plan, because he's the plan man, right? He's the guy who showed up and got everybody to come together. I don't know how, right? We still to this day, nobody's replicated it. So I think that's why it's important for him anyway. Whether or not his plan is the thing, I don't know, but that's how he sleeps at night. And I don't even think he's sleeping at night. I think every ounce of his body is going into, when I say Marshall Plan, I know it's for other country, but it's rebuilding after a war. That's us. It's what Kevin is talking about. We're going to be rebuilding from the ground up. These institutions all have to be dissolved. And then now what do we do? What do we do if we had to start hospitals and healthcare and schools? And what if we had to do that from the beginning? What changes would you make? So I mean, yeah, it's devastating. It's like some people are going to think it's worse than it was when he was in charge. But for me, we get to go back. We get to start over and honor all the people that never were honored in this country.
Absolutely. And I agree with that too. I mean, that's very much where the energy feels like it's going. I'm just saying though too, it's not like Trump is out of the picture and, oh, everything's great, It's going to be quite a while. It's going to take years.
Right.
So I just want to
see him living a long time now? I mean, do you have any sense at all? I mean, I was just saying before we went live that of all the things that I think Kevin and I are very accurate on, and we've been here in public, so I can tell you that we've been accurate because you would tell me otherwise. But all the things, his energy, his life source is really difficult to nail down, right? Like, so somebody said, and I think this is the truth, he's here to teach us a lesson, and as long as we need to learn the lesson, he's going to be here to teach us. Well, what is the lesson? To love your neighbors, to support each other.
I don't think we've been wrong.
Or I don't think him living. I have. I
never said he was done. I don't feel a long life for him, but I've never.
Nobody has predicted him dead, but me. I think. I jumped the gun, y'all.
I will say, and I was talking about it all summer. The health stuff felt like August, September.
Yeah,
he was having stuff just because
he was at the hospital. He was at Reed. He was in the
just because
whatever.
Just because it's not public or on the news doesn't mean it didn't happen, does it?
He could have died on the table and they revived him.
Yeah.
Somebody like really had a moral moment at that point. Like I had the oath, but I had my chance.
Yeah. But you know what though too? That's where the timing aspect is hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, at some point, we're all going to pass away, so we'll be right with making that prediction, right? But it's just when. But I agree. I don't feel a long life for him, but I don't think he's going this year. I don't. But the health issues are going to continue to get worse and go down. For entertainment purposes only, allegedly, I've been saying I feel like there's been many strokes and having procedures with that. And just because it's not public doesn't mean it didn't happen.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
And I think we can all clearly see with the dementia and all of that just continuing to get worse. It's too much for him. So yeah. But I don't see him around 5 years from now. I'll say that. I think
no, God no.
Sooner than that.
No. The guy said,
I'm thinking like maybe like 2026 towards the end of the year.
Wow.
Doesn't mean
Wow.
he'll be president at that time.
Right. Right.
Maybe
It's
I'm feeling like a year and a half
wow.
is what I'm saying. But
The
we'll see.
guides mentioned to me, and I thought it was really funny, and it stuck with me. He's eaten so many hamburgers and French fries, he's literally preserved himself from the inside out. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's literally like a mummified fast food container at this point. Maybe he can't die. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you
Like
know
that could be
what?
fun.
Didn't they show like McDonald's meat in a landfill and it was like
Just
years later and it's still there? It's like not even yeah.
and bread that never molds. I mean, even mold is afraid of the bread. I mean, I'm just saying this is my working theory. I think it's viable. I think it's a viable theory. He has literally mummified himself from the inside out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's but here's the thing. Even if so let's change the filter on our lenses for a
Mhm.
minute because let's say that he stays in office for whatever. I don't care. In the Congress, I actually have a video that I just saw that I was like, I said that. I said that Bobert and MTG were going to save us in a video at some point, and I'm
Oh
like,
wow. Look at
so
you.
here they are, right? Bobert and MTG don't even like each other. Throw Massey in and throw Mace in, four certifiable crazy people.
Nut
And
job.
they
Yeah.
are the ones who are standing up to the Orange Julius. And I feel like the reason they're standing up to him is because they've got a source of money. They
Mm.
wouldn't have the cover, they wouldn't have the ability to stand up against him if they didn't have major financial backing. So I think that also
That's
indicates
interesting.
that there's some deep pockets American who's saying enough is enough, right? Like I'm ready to start cleaving these Republicans off and let's, get this country back on the right track.
Yeah. Well, you know what, too, like I said, and I'm not discrediting that maybe some people aren't getting paid off to shift things around, but I think a lot of them know, you said the secret plan, and they know that they have to start to distance themselves because this is all about to implode.
Also true. True.
Yeah.
Also true. Like they see the cliff and they're like, I'm
They
not
need
going
to
over the
save
cliff.
their careers when Trump's gone, right?
All true.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. And they none of those people they're all street savvy, kind of wily people. They're not necessarily go with the flow people. So it makes sense that they would be the person who said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm out, right? I've got nothing to lose. They're probably not getting any money anyway from the Republican Party because I don't think the Republican Party has any money. Remember when
Yeah.
Trump hooked up his little debit card to it and sucked it all dry?
Mm, yeah, for sure. What do you feel? Well, and look at it too. Look at the elections we just had a few weeks ago.
Really?
It was such a shift from well, we won't get into all of that. We have to be careful with what we say on YouTube. But um, looking back to the 2024 election, it was like a landslide. Um, even in this Virginia House seats, all of the toss up swing seats went blue, and a
Yeah.
bunch of the solid red seats went blue as well.
Yeah.
And then even in red states, some of the elections going on there. Um, so I think they're starting to wake up some of
Yeah.
the things, and they know that this isn't tenable.
Right. So if they wake up and let's say you got four that are pretty, strong, they're
Mhm.
not backing down. Let's say we and then didn't they say like 70 Republicans ended up voting? So is that my question to you is would that be a discernible amount of Republicans that might start shifting away from Orange Julius? And if they do that, that really his power is much less.
Yeah. Look about it. Well, and to be honest with you, I do think in 2024, I do think that there was a good amount of Republicans that voted blue. hmm Especially after, like, they could not get behind Trump after the insurrection. Um, But we
But
are going
even
to see,
Congress won't be going along with him. He's
yeah,
not going to have the same power. So even if
exactly.
he's in office, you guys, even if that man stays alive and defies gravity and everything that I hold dear in my life, um, even if he does that, I think he's getting separated from his power.
Hmm. Yeah. And I will just say I don't think he'll be in there for very long. I know it's like everybody gets frustrated.
I
When,
can't say
when, when?
anything.
It's the same question a million times every show. And I can't tell you exactly when, but I do feel like between fall of this year to spring of next year, I feel like there's a lot of endings there. Not necessarily being unalived, but um,
Yeah.
I feel like I said, it's this train. It keeps building so much more momentum, and at some point, you know, it's gonna stop, and it's gonna be big when it does, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's going to be really big. Do you see him fleeing? There was a time a few years ago. Remember when Jack Smith and all the stuff was happening to him? There was a time when I saw him fleeing to the Middle East, to Qatar or to Saudi Arabia, but I saw MBS or whoever it was sending him back. Like
Oh,
I
interesting.
don't see them giving him long term cover, like maybe short term, but not long term. Do you see that?
I personally didn't. I before I didn't see that, but um, I do think it's becoming more and more of
A
a
possibility.
possibility. And actually, the card that came out was the Three of Pentacles, so it's looking overseas for some kind of cover, some kind of opportunity.
Right. But is it long term? Like I know he's looking. I mean, yes, I'm
Hmm.
sure he's got assurances. And I've always said to you guys that he wants to be the president in exile. Remember that? Like he wants to be over there where you can send him money and yet he doesn't have to be answerable to any crimes.
Hmm. Yeah. Thank you, JC. JC says no. Repubs voted to release Epstein's child because Bondi opened new investigation, which
Right.
will seal files. But you know what? Even even with that knowledge, a lot of them, even if that wasn't the case, they're not going to go back to their constituents and say, vote for me next year,
Yeah.
when it's so important to the
Right.
base.
Right. And that's what we said. They're going to run out the clock as long as there's an investigation, they don't have to release anything.
Mm.
So I agree with what you're saying, JC. I just think that he will also take this opportunity to, like Hunter Biden, right? Like
Yeah.
he'll throw something together that is probably not even true and try
Well, we
to
know that.
obfuscate everything, right?
Him
Um
and all the Republicans in the files will be cleared, and it will just be a bunch of
yeah,
Democrats,
yes,
right?
exactly.
And he thinks that just
Exactly.
everybody's going to buy that. They're not going to,
His own
That's the
people aren't
thing.
going to buy it.
But
Own
like I
people.
said too, you know, stuff is coming out from overseas. That's what
Yeah.
I felt for
So
so
I
long.
love that. So
And
they can seal it all they want. And
mhm,
then, I mean, you got to give Britain props. This is a blood prince, like blood
mhm,
royalty. And they were like, you're out, right? Like
right.
that's the kind of courage we need. Like, you're a president, you're out. You're not even a blood prince. Get the hell out,
Mhm,
right? So I wonder if it's Britain that or MI6 or the Five
mhm.
Eyes or I wonder
Yeah.
what country it might be that would and who would they give it to even make sure that it got some kind of
Well,
exposure.
I'm sure that they can figure out a way to get it to the press, right? It's
They could
interesting
wrap it in a
because
hamburger wrapper.
I always felt Putin had this information, which I've
Yeah,
said, but
yes.
also, like, would he be the one to release it? Because that's his blackmail. But
Right.
maybe and I think in some of the emails that were released, I think it was pretty obvious that our president's compromised. Other
Oh,
countries
for sure.
have this information. I mean, that's not a shocker to us, but um, just actually reading it in some of the emails. Um,
Right.
but I could see Britain or, you know, one of the European countries releasing it. I still feel like that's how we're going to
Nice.
get most of the files. But I will be honest, I don't think we're going all of the
I
big
don't
power
think we're
players,
ever going
we're
to get
not
all the
going to see
calls.
every name that's involved with it.
No.
I've always said I feel like what really takes Trump down, and it doesn't feel like it's the horrible trafficking and the abuse.
Hmm.
It's the financial aspects and funding this trafficking ring. That's where I feel like he goes down from.
Right.
Yeah,
The
and other.
finances, the RICO, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
So
agree.
it'll be interesting. I do think stay tuned because it we've seen it on the news all like week, like the last few months, but this week specifically, it's all been Epstein, 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 and it's going to be that way for a while until this big leak comes out. And I don't think we're that far away from it. I don't.
I don't either. And I think
It might
leak
be
is
next
the
month.
thing, right?
When I
They
said
can
that, I
try
heard
and
December.
September, when?
December.
December. Nice. I do. December does have some spicy energy. It has like
Mhm.
some explosive energy. Maybe mid-month. What are you getting?
December, I don't know exactly when, but I feel like something big happens that month. And then it feels like I said, it could possibly lead into early next year, like January, February, March.
Right.
Feels like there's a lot of big energy, um, but it feels like there's some change in that energy too.
Right. Absolutely.
We were talking about Republicans trying to distance themselves from Trump and the elections. Did you hear about the Tennessee Congress race? It isn't a Republican district, but they have a special election. I think December 2nd. I don't remember the names. Um, but what do you get with that? Do you feel like the Democrat has a chance in deep red Tennessee?
I think the Democrat does have a chance. I'm not sure if I see like a runaway train. I'm not sure that I see like
It's
a
not going to be
complete.
a landslide.
But I think the Democrat has a chance, and I think there's some shock there.
Mhm.
Um, there could be a scandal that comes up for the Republican too before that. Like I just see a scandal coming out that doesn't help that person.
I wrote on this a few weeks ago, and I actually, like I said, I was a bit surprised, and I don't think it's going to be a total. I think it will be very competitive and close.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrat actually had like the star in the sun, like the most positive
Wow,
stars that you
nice.
could have.
I
Ooh, and
mean,
that.
but that
Hmm.
that's the way it's been going, right? Like the Dems have been picking up the seats.
Hmm. Well, also too, you have to think about it. We're in the holiday season right now. Well, I'm sure you've all been to the grocery store lately, right? I swear
Yeah.
I well, first off, I haven't been buying a whole lot of meat because the price is just so crazy. Um, but I literally went to the store this week and I did not go last week. So like in 2 weeks, the prices like went up by like 25%, like a huge jump.
So how do you think people are going to respond to that? I mean, do you think people are going to
I think people
protest?
are pissed. Well, I
Yeah,
do
but I
see
mean, are
more
they going to
protests.
just be mad, or are they going to like do
I think
something?
people are going to walk away from the party. Resignation.
Woo. Okay then. But are they blaming it on the Republican Party? Because sometimes you don't know. Like they just believe whatever they're told.
I think more and more of them are starting to wake up and believe.
Okay.
I'm not saying that the whole base is going to walk away. I
Right.
don't.
I know. I agree.
But more and more people are hurting. More and more are getting upset. There's this big division happening within the MAGA
Yeah.
movement,
I agree. I agree.
and
It
also
may
too
not be
when you have
instant.
family get-togethers for Thanksgiving, and it's pretty skimpy compared to years past, and or you didn't get your food stamps, or got
Right.
half of them for the month. A lot of people are
Right.
going to think about that you know, when it comes to voting. So
I mean,
I
that
think that Tennessee election, I don't want to say I feel like it's going to be a slam dunk for the Democrat, but I feel very optimistic.
yeah, I agree. Guardedly optimistic, right?
Hmm.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
That's also
Somebody
true.
says, I think the hungrier people get, the angrier they'll get with the party and power
That's
too.
true.
Or think about so many people are losing their jobs, or being laid off.
Yeah.
A lot of people with these Obamacare subsidies. Let's go there next. Can't afford health care, so we're
I'm
going to see
afraid
that.
what mine is going to go up to. All I can say is I'm grateful for two things.
Yeah.
I left Texas. My car insurance is going to drop by a lot, and my health insurance is going to drop by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what do you want to read about the health insurance? Like,
What do
will
you
it go
think that
up or
what
how?
do you think that they're going to get the subsidies for the Obamacare pass?
Oh, didn't they just push it off to like December or something? Is that what
Yeah,
ended up?
they're
I was
supposed
not
to
here
have a
when the
vote on it.
country went back to work.
You know what? Well, I want to hear what you say first, and I'll tell you what I'm picking up with it.
Or
If you get anything for the
did,
if they're gonna get if they're
are
gonna
we going
vote
to
it
vote
through.
again in December?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they going to get the extensions? I've always felt like, and I still hear yes, but I don't think it's going to be the whole extension. There's
Mm.
some weird, hinky thing that it hinges on something else, or there's it's weird. It's complicated, but in the end result, I don't think we get all of them. I think we get some of them. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, do you think that this wonkiness in the energy could be, yes, it goes through, but there's a delay? Like
A delay,
maybe the new
some
year is
just
started
stupid.
when all of everybody's told what their prices are going to be, and then there has to be something that shifts it like early in 2026. That's kind of my feeling.
Even as late as March, even
Mark.
as late as March or April. So I don't know if they kick the can down the road one more time, or to me, there's some sort of interim thing, and then they kick the can down the road because they're gonna like, I mean, people are gonna be really upset.
Well, could it be this? And this is the flash I got, so let me know if this resonates with you. Could it be passed, but there's another government shutdown in January?
Oh, for the love of God. See, it's hard to do this job, y'all. Yes, there could be. There could be. The energy is around mid-January, like the 18th. But then something happens, and I don't know why or what it is, but around March or April or May, those 3 months, there's something really big that happens. Like, I don't know what that is. But so to go back, do you think we're gonna have some of the some of the extensions or none of them, or
No, I'm seeing the extensions being passed, but like I said,
okay.
it feels like it's probably not this year. It might be early next year. And maybe, like I
Mm.
said, I got the hit, and maybe it's the result of a government shutdown. Can I also say, though, I just threw some cards because I was
Mm.
wanting to see if the government was going to shut down, and there's a there's some really big stuff. Like I said, this whole fall 2025 to like end of winter, beginning of spring of 2026, there's a lot of stuff, even outside of just our country. A lot of stuff going on in the world. It's just what I'm getting from these cards. Because you have the Judgment card, which is about a big wake up call. It's renewal, it's awakening, which I think a lot of us are feeling these intuitive hits, just getting more and more. It's like you can't distract from
Mm.
all of the misinformation, or
Right.
whatever. People are becoming more and more aware. The Death card, so there's endings. I'm feeling like
Transformation.
with the male, but it also brings in renewal. But there's big changes because people are waking up, and actually, it feels like ultimately it's hopeful. It brings in faith and hope with the star here. Um, Action being taken across the world here. So I just feel like I said, this and vision of a train keeps coming up in my mind when I kind of focus in on the collective energy right now.
Is there a guy in a diaper standing in front of the train? Is he like, did he fall down and he's trying to get the French fries in between the tracks? I mean, I just have questions.
Yeah. Well, I think that he's a part of it. We'll say that. I don't
Okay,
know if
well,
literally he's in front of a train. It
we
doesn't
could put French fries in the train tracks. I mean, I'm just trying to be a problem solver here.
like a a piece of candy, like lead them.
I'm just saying, like, oops, I spilled my French fries on the train tracks. And, oh, there goes my Diet Coke.
You
I
might
mean,
have
I'm
to throw a
saying
fillet of
anything
fish
can
or two
happen.
in there.
Anything can happen. Anything.
It's funny. But yeah, it's
Be hopeful.
yeah. I'm like I said last week too. Between all the solar flares, 11/11
Oh
portal,
my God,
I'm
yeah.
feeling such a massive shift, and I know some of you watching are having a hard time tapping into it, and again, I'm trying to share my tools to help try to empower. If it resonates with you, if it doesn't, that's okay. But I just feel like there's so much change on the horizon. Like I said, I'm not feeling defeated at all. The energy actually feels very empowering to me.
Me too. This is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it really does. It does feel empowering to me because I just see all these like what I said in this video is the victims are rising. And then I heard, because I was thinking about the Epstein victims, right? And I often think about their ancestors, right? But you know what I got is all of us are victims. Like freaking America, the world is a victim of this man. And we are kind of moving out of the victimhood mentality into the claiming our justice, claiming our, making it right energy. So I think that's the energy that maybe is making you feel hopeful, is that there really is this wave coming forth where you see it in a freight train that is going to break through.
Yeah. And then, like I said, you can't stop it. And we've been feeling this
Cannot stop
energy
it. No, it's
since
out of
the
control,
summer,
basically.
right? How much significant stuff has been happening like all year, but like the second half of this year, which we've been picking up on. So, maybe he's still there for right now, but again, at some point that implosion is going to happen.
He's going to lose Congress. They're all bailing on him. And then if he loses Congress and he continues to try to be the dictator, then they're going to impeach him. I have never seen that happening. I'm just saying that he doesn't have the support, right? So you know what? There is a question in here because I read a while back about this. Will the banks crash?
I was going to pull it up next.
Yop says, will the banks crash? I did a video a while back where I said there could be a run on the banks. I'm not sure that I feel it right now exactly, but I understand where this person is coming from because the banks are doing some weird things. And then Nvidia, which is a very big, like, I think it's one of the biggest stocks, right? And what's his name? Thiel sold a lot of his Nvidia. Like, people are selling their stocks. A lot of these big investors. Warren Buffett has more cash on hand, I think, than he has a record amount of cash on hand, which kind of tells you that he's ready for the market to die so he can rush in and buy it at a discount. So that's different. The market is different than the banks. But do you see anything about the banks?
I'm not saying major bank crash. I'm not saying that at all.
I think it'll be handled. I think it should crash. I think it could crash, but I think it'll be handled. You know what I mean? Like, they'll print the money, they'll do the things.
There may be some banks that close, but I'm not feeling like a major like banks crashing and everybody losing their money that was in the bank. I don't see that at all. Not at all.
But go look at your bank though and just do bank health and type in your bank, because banks crash every year, you guys. Like 30, 40, 50 banks crash every year. So you should just know how your bank is doing, right? That's the most important thing. For sure.
And I will say, in regards to the stock market, I've never felt a total stock crash either, but I do feel like it's been so over evaluated, and to me it feels more like it's going down. I don't see it like dropping and crashing, but it almost feels like, because it's been so inflated, it's like readjusting, I guess is the right word. My thing is that I think everybody's struggling with the prices of everything.
Yes.
That's where I really feel like the financial impact really
Ah.
coming
So
in.
do you see like home foreclosures, car repos? You
Mm.
see
It
bankruptcies? Do
feels
you
more
see
like the
that kind of
spirit of
thing?
trade war stuff and the inflation and price gouging. I'm not seeing like total doom and gloom, not right now anyway.
Right. Right.
So that's where I see people really hurting. Yeah, market correction, somebody said. And I'm
Right.
not a financial expert, so
Right. We're not giving financial advice. That
exactly.
would be something we're not supposed to do. Um,
But
yeah.
I think, but yeah, I do think things will trend down. Like I said, people losing their jobs, people being laid off, prices continuing to rise. It's a struggle financially for a lot of people. I do feel though like almost well, I think the interest rates are going to continue to drop. Um,
Hmm.
but I almost feel like almost by like summer of 2026 things start to look a little bit better where it's not quite so hard financially.
I agree. I agree. Some pressure is released. There's
Hmm.
a feeling of just a little breathing room, a little breathing room. And so what's interesting about that, Kevin, is so when I have an energy like that, I try to follow it back to figure out why do I feel like that, right? So if you feel like there's a little breathing room
Mm.
in summer of next year, can you follow it back to what's the reason behind it or who's in leadership or how we feel in summer of next year with all that?
Well, like I said, I do think it's going to be a bit hard whether Trump's still president or not. Like I said, if I were to make the prediction today, I'm not feeling he would be there by summer. I don't think he'll be president at least by like midterms. I think even before the midterms,
Yeah,
he's out because there. I always get the questions: are they going to do anything with those elections? Or and I'm like, I don't feel him being a factor at that point.
right. And I feel like we're very guarded by the 26 midterms. Like we're on guard.
Hmm.
We're kind of hip to what they've done, and all the citizens are watching everything, and it's very hard for them to pull things off. And or we just don't, they do the bomb threats every single time, right?
Right.
Every single time, even with these special elections, there have been bomb threats against Democrats. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous, honestly.
Can I share a hit I got? And sorry to be like a bit of a squirrel moment, but I got it when we were talking about the
We love
economy.
squirrels.
I have squirrel in my chart if you couldn't tell the ADD a little bit, but um, you know what? I do think that the numbers in the economy for the holiday season, which is normally um, so many people buying stuff and more jobs, it's not going to be good. So that I do feel like is going to kind of contribute to like this
Ah,
fear of like where things go. I got that hit when you were talking, so
yes.
it's not
Oh,
going to.
we're not in the mood to buy money. We're not in the mood.
Yeah, it's going
Well,
to
we can't
be
afford our groceries. How the hell are we going to
exactly.
afford Christmas or
It's going to be a
Hanukkah
very
or
frugal holiday
frugal? It's
season.
going to be frugal, and I think people are kind of remembering the pandemic when we learned how to crochet or make something. I think we're realizing I would like to give a gift that I made, or
Mhm.
even if it's a gift of I'm going to come to your house, mom, and I'm going to help you clean, or I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to help you fix your computer, right? Like there's so many
But
things
that's
that
a
we can.
nice thing, almost in a sense,
Yeah.
too, getting away from the material and actually
Yes.
reconnecting and, um, being together as family and friends. I mean, it's I don't really see that as a bad thing.
No.
The
I
economy
mean, the
may not like
CEOs
it,
will.
but yeah, well, exactly.
They're going to be sad.
Yeah, for sure.
They
All the
can't make
billionaires.
a. Did you see where I know Amazon, I read Amazon did it, but they changed the dates of Black Friday
No, I didn't see
because
that.
people are boycotting Black Friday
Oh, that's
specifically.
funny.
So they changed the dates. You're getting to them when they change the dates of Black Friday. You've made a dent in their thinking and their planning, and these are big corporations. So look at how much power we have. That's a lot of power.
Absolutely. I love it. And you know what? Like you said, it's not even so. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be boycotting and not supporting all of these, big corporations and greedy billionaires. But also, too, like I said, it kind of gets into the true meaning of the holidays, which is all about being appreciative and sitting in gratitude and love with family. It's not necessarily the material things that bring us joy, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're going to figure out, it feels very pandemic to me in the sense that we're going to do things differently. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't even realize we're going to do things differently, but you might see people, I'm not doing a whole turkey. I'm going to do, some pieces of chicken, or I'm going to do something
Yeah,
else. And I just think it gives us a chance to really redo it. Like, we don't have to spend $300 on this meal, right? Like, we could probably do this a lot differently and enjoy it just as much. So there's this sense of transformation.
yeah. Well, and also, maybe it's not one family doing everything, bringing the whole spread, but people kind of bringing and contributing and helping.
Potluck, a
Yeah,
nice potluck, right? Like, and maybe it's neighborhood potluck, because that's the lesson, you guys. The lesson is that we're all in this together. It's just like the pandemic, but it's also just like, everything that's going on. Um, go down and talk to that elderly person who lives alone, right? Like,
yeah.
the lesson is for us to come together, because it's more about us than it is about the CEOs or the president. They cannot touch us when we come together.
I love that. And I love it's like kind of going back to that message of community and helping one another out, right?
100%. 100%. And if
I
you
love
know your
that.
community, then they know you. And when you need help, they're going to be checking on you. Now, I know a lot of people I used to live in a crazy, weird community with some MAGAs and stuff. But I think if we just sort of think of it like this, the guides are saying, we've all been in a snowstorm or a flood or a tornado where it didn't matter, right? Like, your neighbor plowed your driveway, or you plowed your neighbor's driveway, or your neighbor brought your dog back, or your neighbor gave you a bag of produce. They couldn't. There are times where we overlook the politics and we just see each other as humans. And
Yeah,
I saw that a lot living around the Houston area, because we would have floods. And you know what? If a John boat pulled up, you got in it. It didn't matter what race you were.
absolutely.
It didn't matter what religion you were. It really didn't. Like any other day, you might not like each other. But right now, we're all in this together, right? And that's kind of where we're going, is this sense of we're all in this together. It's those people that are the enemies.
Mm. Yeah, well, and what do you think Mother Earth is trying to
Oh
teach us
my
all
God.
too, with
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
climate change? And thankfully, no major hurricanes hit us, but I mean, obviously the Caribbean was just with
We
that
got
storm
so
that
lucky,
came
because
through.
that would
But
have been.
you know what though? I was seeing quite a few on the Atlantic, and I honestly think all of our energy, focusing in on it, and even just envisioning it shift, and just kind of like sending out those most benevolent outcomes made a difference. Because
I do
honestly,
too.
I was surprised the U.S. did not get a major storm on the
Me
coast.
too. And East Coast, that's what I was feeling too.
Mhm. But I did
100%.
feel a shift into the Gulf, and that was right before. I don't remember what the hurricane was called that just hit Jamaica.
Yes. Yeah.
But what
Mm.
do you think Mother Earth is telling us all? But with all of the droughts, the fires,
Mhm,
the
mhm,
flooding, earthquakes, it's this energy is not going to be settling down anytime soon, right? But it's really
mm-mm.
to bring us all back together and to connect to that oneness, right? Help everybody out.
And we don't own her. Like, when you're talking, you don't own me. And I think
Mm.
the next crisis is water. I saw this video and I think I saved it, but it was these really big billionaire people saying, can you believe that people think that they own water? Like, they don't own it. We're going to get it out of the sky. It's ours, and we're going to sell it to them. So I think
Mm.
there's this, and you see it in the West where people are like, well, I own this part of the river and you downriver, and we humans have not had to deal with that. So I think water is going to be a really big thing going forward. And whether or not, in some communities, you can't have rain barrels. Did you know that you are not
That's
allowed
crazy.
to collect your own rain? I lived in a community where I could not collect the rain coming out of the sky because it wasn't mine.
Mhm. Well, all
Because
we
it,
do is we take from Mother
yeah,
Earth. What are we giving
yeah.
back to her? It's not an even exchange. It's
And
it.
so she's going
So
to
how do you
set us
think
straight.
she's adjusting? She's going to
She's
make the
going to,
necessary things to rebalance her energy too. And yes, absolutely, Antoinette's granddaughter says the sun is evolving as well.
yeah, the sun is evolving.
Hmm.
Truly, you guys, please be very careful around skin cancer. The guides were telling me over and over again, the sun, the sun, the sun. That's really one of the reasons why I left South Texas too, because the sun was starting to feel like too much for me. You know what I mean? Like, just too intense. And I lived there for 30 years, you know what I mean? And I would be outside. I was a gardener. I'd be outside all the time, all day. And I just got to the point where I didn't want to be in the sun. The sun was just too intense.
Well, but I do think that the sun also is playing into all of this shifting with Mother
Oh,
Earth
with
as
the
well.
sunspots and the
Mhm.
and the
Well, look at
flares.
it. Yes, last week. I mean, I heard that places down in Florida and even the
I
Caribbean.
saw northern lights for the first time in my life.
Yeah,
At
they
my
weren't
event.
very clear here in Ohio. I did get some photos, but I've just been getting so much massive downloads from all of the solar flares and energy. Like I
Nice.
said, that guidance and just shifting has been so clear to me.
Wow.
Hmm.
Well, you're harnessing it then, right? For the right reasons, right? Instead of, so that's a thing that Kevin was talking about earlier. Instead of being afraid, being in fear, because you could say, like I just basically said that, like the sun is too much. And Kevin's like, harness it, right?
Mm.
Like, how can you work with the energy to get those downloads, or whatever, or get healing, or whatever it is, right?
Well, it's almost like just letting go, and I think human nature, we like to be very comfortable and resistant to change, right? Um, or resistance to letting go of that control. But I think if you can just kind of go with the flow and trust and allow, that's that shift. That's when you receive it. Yeah.
Yeah, you
And,
have to
and I
be
think
open to
a
it.
lot of the messages I've been saying recently too, it's kind of letting go of things that are out of your control, all of the external stuff going on. Um,
It's true, Jan.
we can choose what frequency we operate at. That's our choice. We're powerful beings.
Mhm.
So, um, not to say that we can't be compassionate and loving for other people that are going through a hard time. That's not what I'm saying at all. But also making ourselves the priority and setting our frequency out into the universe, um, to uplift through all of this hardship. Think of yourself as a lighthouse, and sending that light into the world, and just that shift that's going to do in the collective as well, right?
It's true.
So just not
It's
giving into
hard. I'm
fear.
not saying it's easy,
It's not easy.
but
Absolutely. Healing is not
but
easy.
a little bit. If you can just take some time and sort of push all that negative out, and just sort of do a little meditation, or a little
Mhm.
Reiki, or whatever it is that you do, it doesn't matter. Just even listen to some happy music, right?
Yeah.
You're raising your vibration, and that not only helps you, but it helps your house, and it helps your neighborhood, and it
It
helps
helps
your
the world. It
country, the whole
helps the
world, right?
universe.
So, if just imagine how much would change if more of us could move from panic and fear to a little less of that, and a little bit more of hope, and surrender to
Mhm.
something bigger and better.
Yeah. And like you said, it's not easy. Healing and shifting is not easy work. It's very uncomfortable. Um, but again, it's not allowing, it's choosing to rise above the fear and not allowing all this heaviness, all this denseness that we're going through to consume you, but rise
To
above it.
drown you. To
Yeah.
drown you. You just
And
drown in
it's
it. Believe
easier
me,
to get caught up in all of
I
this energy.
do.
It's
I
easy to
do.
do that.
It's
We're not perfect, you know.
Yeah, no, no, and I'm spicy. And somebody had to remind me. I told Kevin I came back from 4 days in Santa Fe at my event, surrounded by love and light, the most amazing thing. I came back and I'm on Threads, and I'm like, "Ah!" And somebody goes, "Oh, Susan is spicy." I'm like, "Oh, right." Because I wasn't when you're in it all the time, you sort of kind of hold yourself, and I wasn't in it at all,
Yeah,
and I
you
came
were
back to it
focusing
and I was
on
like,
your event, right? Like you had to
it was
disconnect from all the politics and all the craziness going on.
yes,
And so that was probably peaceful for you and for
it
everybody that
was
joined
until I
your
came
event.
back.
And then you
It
came
was
back to the real world, right?
like, what's wrong with these people? Because you see what can happen if you have 140 people who are all literally vibing together, and you're like, okay, this is possible, this is
Yeah.
really, really beautiful, and then you come back and everybody's at each other's throats, and it's just not pretty. It really isn't.
Well, my friend, we've been on for a little over an hour.
We went over our time.
Oh, you're good. We could sit here for 2 hours and
We could, but we would
but
be exhausted. So
it's yeah, for sure.
we try
But
to we
anyway,
try to
oh,
balance it.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But I do always enjoy our time together, and I know a lot of the subscribers do too. So, thank you so much for joining me on the channel today, Susan. Like I said, it's always a pleasure. I always look forward to it.
Same here. Thank you for having me. And in case you guys don't know, we usually go to each other's channels every month. He'll be on mine, I'll be on his. So, if you like this, we do it once a month. Please follow us, and we appreciate you showing up and hanging out with us tonight. And take really good care of yourself.
Yes. Sending you all a lot of love and blessings. You'll take really good care. We'll see you soon. All right. Good night, everyone.